wanted to get ghetto. Oh yeah, I wanted to go full Hialeah on them. Thank you for coming, Hialeah. So yeah, I wanted to go off on her, but I wanted to get ghetto, but I couldn't because that is the regular McDonald's I go to. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to get banned. The next one's far and Cass is a bitch, so I'm like, nah. So I looked at her and I said, okay, we're gonna play this game. Let's play this game. From now on, I'm no longer fat. According to you, I am now unexercised. I did, bro. She looked at me, she's like, don't be ridiculous. And I looked at her and I was like, oh, well, if you think it's ridiculous, then clearly you are part of the problem, not the solution. And I grabbed the food and I walked out. Now, second half of the story, I walk over to the family, okay? And I hand the bags of food to the mom. And the mom was so nice. She was just happy that someone thought of her and her kids. She got very emotional. She's like, I just want to say thank you. You have no idea what you're doing for us right now. This really means a lot. Thank you. And I had to ask the question. I said, are you okay? Yeah, I know what you thought. Look at some of you like, don't do it. Oh, I did it. That's why we're here. Watch. So I looked at her and I said, are you okay? And she was like, no, unfortunately, we're not okay. We're not. We've been homeless now for 4 days. And I was like, I don't know if you heard, but I didn't correct her. I didn't correct her because I'm not a dick. That's why I didn't correct her. That's what I mean, you guys. Even if you have good intentions nowadays, people can still take what you're saying or doing and twist it to make you look bad. There should be no consequences for being kind, for trying to help, for wanting to do the right thing, for caring. Unfortunately, we're so consumed by this word called liability that sometimes we forget to be a little human, and that's unfortunate. And I'm not trying to get on a soapbox about this. Or you just want to buy it and be done with. No, please tell me if I'm making a mistake. Is a 22 a good gun or a bad gun? Son, in my personal opinion, you're better off tickling them as far as I'm concerned. All you're gonna do is aggravate the situation. Okay? You're just gonna piss them off is what I'm trying to tell you. Well, Jim, listen to my thought process. My whole idea for the gun is I'm gonna use the gun more so like as a deterrent. So if somebody breaks into the house, they're gonna see this big, bald Mexican holding a gun, and then they're gonna think twice and then rob my neighbors instead. Son, if somebody breaks into your house and they have a gun, they're gonna know you're holding a 22. And I'll tell you what's gonna happen. They're gonna take it from you, and they're gonna beat the holy hell out of you with it, right? And the beating you're gonna get from a 22 is gonna hurt a hell of a lot more than the bullets coming out of a 22. That's for damn sure. Now listen, I don't know you, but I think I know your situation. And correct me if I'm wrong. You wanna protect your home. Yes. Your family. Yes. Your valuables. Yes. All right, follow me.
I think I got just what you need right here, okay? You see this right here? This here's a 9mm to start, okay? A 9mm is a solid firearm. 2 to the chest, that man is going down 10 out of 10. However, I got this special military grade ammunition over here. I got this here bullet. It's called a spreader. Yeah, that's what I used to call my ex. Oh, she was a real pistol too, let me tell you. That's why I had to move here to California. She'll never find me here. So, this bullet, when it comes out the chamber, it opens up. And when it hits, it'll leave a hole about yay big. And stupid me, I said this. I said, people survive that? Survive? Survive? Son, you don't want them to survive. You want them dead as fried chicken as far as I'm concerned. I said, I don't want anybody to die. You don't want anybody to die? You guys hear that? You hear that? He don't want anybody to die. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you know who he voted for. Look here, Tutu, you're stressing me the hell out, man. I want to help you, but you gotta want to help yourself. So listen. I'm gonna do everything in my power to get through this. I'm gonna paint a picture for you, okay? You're home. Someone breaks in to your home. They have a gun. You have a gun. You have already told this person to leave or you will shoot. And they're not leaving. Matter of fact, they're doing the complete opposite. They're getting closer and closer and closer and closer. Now they're so close you can see the whites of their eyes. This individual is standing directly in front of you. You can see each other. This individual is prepared to do whatever it takes to leave with whatever they want, including taking your life. My question to you is, are you prepared to do the same? Are you willing to protect your family, your home, your valuables, and most importantly, yourself in this situation? What are you gonna do? First of all, bro, you should sell like life insurance, man, because you're missing your calling. I felt that. I felt it. If I'm cornered like that and I have absolutely no choice and my life is in danger, I promise you, Jim, I will step up, man, and I will shoot them right in the leg. I will. You really think you're gonna hit the leg, Mr. First-Time gun owner? Hey, if I buy that bullet you're trying to sell me that covers that much, up close, I could hit a leg. 2 steps closer, I'll shoot him in the huevos. I will, dude. I'll hit a pelota. I will. No more babies, man. All right. You don't got to get graphic on me now. Son, you know what's going to happen if you shoot someone in your home, in the leg, and they live? Yeah, I know what's going to happen. I'm going to sleep better knowing I didn't take a life. And I was able to protect my home, my family, and my stuff. That's what's going to happen. Clearly, you're a Disney fan. That's about the biggest fantasy I've ever heard right there. Son, I would ask you if you knew, but clearly you don't, so I'm not going to waste my time spinning my wheels on this one. I'm just going to call it like it is. If you shoot someone in your home and they live, they can come back and sue your ass. That's right. And here's the kicker. They're gonna win. That's right, they're gonna win. And not only are they gonna get everything they wanted to get when they first broke in, when it's all said and done, you are gonna cut them a big fat check. Now, what do you gotta say about that? Said that motherfucker's gonna die.
He got excited. Now we're talking. I found out something that day. I found out that people that sell guns are a lot like people that sell used cars. They play on your emotions and then they start to upsell you and make you buy things you don't want or need. He knew I was scared because he kept saying it to me. Because I know you're scared and you're fears, you're worried, you're scared. And every time he'd say scared, something else would appear on the counter. He sold me so well that when he was done selling me, I wound up with 4 rifles and 4 handguns and a case of spreader ammunition. I hear some of you clapping, and why? It's excessive. I only have 2 hands. See, I feel, again, even though my home was burglarized, I feel grateful because I wasn't there and I had my dogs with me. I can't replace my dogs. I can't replace me. Stuff is stuff. However, if I would have been home, I would have done whatever I needed to do. That's the difference. I feel like in this situation, there's 2 kinds of people. One, people like me, had the guns, had the ammo, glad they weren't there, but if they were there, they would have done something about it. Because if I was in bed and I heard the, I jumped up, I would have grabbed my gun. I'd have ran out into the living room with no shirt on and 1 sock off. I'd have confronted the person. Freeze! Knowing my luck. Fluffy? I said freeze! Oh, you're funny. You're funny, bro. You're funny. Get on the ground. Ooh. Don't make me shoot you. Hey, Beto, get in here. Get in here. You'll never guess whose house this is. The other guy runs in. Oh, hey. Oh, hey. Oh, hey. Oh, hey. I grew up watching you. Next thing you know, I'm autographing things they're about to take. So like I said, in this situation, I feel like there's 2 kinds of people. One, people like me, had the guns, had the ammunition. They're glad they weren't home, but if they would have been home, they would have done something about it. That's one type of people. The other kind of people are the kind of people who cannot wait for the opportunity. Oh. Good, you're here. The kind of people who cannot wait for the opportunity to confront an intruder because you know you have way more guns and ammunition than they do, and you are prepared for war. The kind of people who sit home at night in the living room in the dark, holding their gun. They leave the front door unlocked to make it easier. And people like that always have a friend either across the street or across town.
How's everything over there on your side? Shot clear over here. Shut about you. Yeah, everything coast is clear. 10-4.
Now, the problem with sharing a story like that is that people have questioned the credibility of that story. They say, how is it possible you could remember a story like that with such detail after drinking so many shots. And honestly, I don't. But we recorded the show. So I know the story very well, you know. She'll take off whatever you take off. She'll take off whatever you take off. She'll take off whatever you take. I know it very well. The question that I've always gotten over the years is, you know, are your stories real? You know, we hear these crazy stories, whether it's about me and Snoop Dogg or Martin or all these different adventures or my son Frankie. People have always questioned whether or not the stories are like legit. And so in my last special, I addressed it. I was tired of people asking if my stories were real, so to prove a point, at the end of my last special that I did, I included a photo of every single one of the stories that I talked about so that people would know the stories are real. And tonight, is no exception. So, did I really get naked on stage? Ryan, hit the button. I'm fucking with you. Oh my God, you guys thought you were gonna see 3D. I'm sorry, I did that for me. I did that for me. Oh my God. You guys were getting stressed. You're like, ah, cabrón, hide los niños. Oh my God. The number one question I've got when it comes to my shows is, what is your writing process? My writing process is simple. I do not sit and write out jokes. I am really bad at that. Ask the Oscars. I experience things and then I come out on stage and I share them, and sometimes people laugh, and if they laugh, that's cool, I keep that, and whatever doesn't get a laugh, I work on until it gets, you know, ah-ha-ha. 15 plus years ago, my friend Ivan, who is he's my number one longest, oldest employee. Not old like he's like, hello, how are you? He's been around a long time. He's been there from day one. Ivan's original job was to record my shows using a camcorder. Now, the fact that I'm saying camcorder should be an indication of the timeline. Because I know some of you right now are like, what's a camcorder? Yeah, so it was the Snapchat of our day. So Ivan would record the shows and then put away the camcorder and the tripod and a bunch of tapes into a bag. It was very bulky. It wasn't a phone, it was bulky. And then we'd go back to the hotel, and then he'd break the little guard off the back of the TV, and then, you know, he'd hook it up and we'd watch the thing. And that's how I would review my material. One night, we go to dinner. Ivan packed up the bag. We met in the hotel lobby, and Ivan forgot the camera bag in the hotel lobby. And we went to dinner. And when we came back, it was gone. And we never recovered the tape. And I know some of you are like, how convenient. The tape of him getting naked is gone. And to you I say, why would I even make up such a story that could potentially hurt my credibility or my image? I don't need 5 minutes of ha-ha. What I need is there to not be a tape. I know that there's footage out there of me doing something really, really embarrassing and something I wish I could take back. And I know that when this Netflix special airs, a lot of people are going to see it. And hopefully the person who has the footage is watching. And I would like to tell that person right now, in your living room, I know you have the tape. I have $50,000 with your name on it. Come get paid. And it's funny because You know, for me to relate to my son, it's a little challenging, you guys. And it's not that I can't relate to a teenager, because I can. I can relate to almost any age. You know, I got people that brought kids here tonight. The problem is that my son doesn't see me as an entertainer. He sees me as the guy that tells him to take a shower, put on deodorant, you know, stop picking your nose. That's me. His friends, on the other hand, I'm like a god to his friends. Every time I drop off Frankie at school now, I pull up, you know, the kids see my car. They freak out and they run over to it and they put their hands on it like it's a shrine. They touch the car like freaking, Selena está aquí, you know? Some of you got that. Gracias. Anyway. Then the kids start shaking my car side to side, chanting, Fluffy, Fluffy, Fluffy. And Frankie's in the front seat, pissed. He's pissed. He's like, this is bull. I'm like, hey, dude, don't get mad at me because I'm more popular than you at your school. Little hater. He gets out of the car all mad. They're still chanting, Fluffy, Fluffy. The thing is that our worlds are very different. His world revolves around Grand Theft Auto, the video game, YouTube, and girls. He's really good at 2 of those. The other one, not so much. And it's not that I'm trying to be a hater about it. It's just that I tell Frankie, listen, you need to start having more conversations. You need to become more talkative and interact like this. See, he'd rather text than talk. That's his whole thing. I'm like, dude, you gotta learn, you know, start to talk to me. I wish you would talk to me more. You could learn a lot about talking by talking to me. I'm just saying, I only do it professionally. But no, he'd rather text. It's at the point now where if I'm in the house and I yell, Frankie, did you take out the trash? Nothing. All of a sudden, cling. I take out my phone, no. But if I say, I got money for you, freaking Houdini, right? Oh, hello. Because you can't text cash. That's my big thing right now. I just want him to take out the trash. He's 16 years old now. He should have been doing this since he was 10, but you know, better late than never. And what he does is he'll sit in the living room and he tunes out the rest of the house. He sits there and he'll put on these headphones that I got him for Christmas a couple of years ago. These Beats with the freaking studio button, and it cuts out all of the sound. They are so strong that when he starts watching his YouTube videos, he can't hear himself laugh. And for me, that is the funniest thing in the world. I'm in the other room and I can hear him. This is what I hear. I'm in the other room like, who brought the Germans? And so I walk out into the living room and I see Frankie and he's laughing at his phone and I gotta flag him down. I go, hey. And he'll take him off. What's up, Dad? I go, Frankie, can you do me a favor? Can you please take out the trash? Okay. And then he puts them back on. What? Now? I go, yes. Now? When you ask me for a ride, it's because you need a ride when you ask for it, right? Not later. Then he says, where are we going? Just take out the trash. And then he does it. He takes out the trash, but he acts like he's doing me the biggest favor in the world. And he stares me down and he doesn't break eye contact. He's like, and then I'll hold the bag over the can and he makes a sound. I'm like, dude, so much drama. It's crazy. I'd like to have normal conversations with him, but usually I got to take it that far for us to interact. You know, I look forward to conversations. Even if it's something small and minute, at least it gives me a chance to trigger another conversation with him. I look forward to a few things. I look forward to December, because in December, Frankie becomes very chatty. Otherwise, he's one-word kid. Parents, you know what I'm talking about. Kids, one-word kid. And you try to talk to him. Hey, how's your day? Good. You have any homework? Yeah. You gonna do it? Maybe. You hungry? Mm-hmm. What do you want? Food. Ah! Usually that's what I get. But December rolls around, and guess what December is? December is when he becomes very chatty because he has an agenda. All of a sudden, he goes from one-word kid to very like, hey, how's your week, Dad? You doing good? Yeah, how are the shows going? You doing all right? Do you need anything? You need anything? I'm like, I needed this in July, just saying. And I know it's fake, but at least, once again, it allows me to put my real conversation on top of his fake one. I am officially down 100 pounds. Yeah. I know some of you in the front are looking at me right now like, well, how big were you? I know. Hercules, yeah. Anyways, you guys, let me tell you what happened. Basically, I found out I was a little sick. I was diagnosed about 2 years ago, type 2 diabetic. Now, I maxed out at 445 pounds. Yeah, that's way past fluffy, okay? Let's be honest, that's not even, damn! 445 pounds, that's borderline Discovery Channel fat. That was like, I couldn't leave the house, you know?
He wants to go to the movies.
It was really bad, you guys, and so I was waking up every morning with a 300 plus sugar level. Now, anyone who knows anything about diabetes, that is super high. And you do that enough times and eventually, clear.
It's so hard to say goodbye. They buried him in frosting. It was the sweetest funeral ever. Everyone got a cupcake. It was so nice.
I'm at the doctor's office, you guys, and the doctor tells me, he says, listen, Gabriel, you're 445 pounds, your weight is out of control, your diabetes is out of control, you're 35 years old, you will not live another 2 years. I guarantee it. And I got very emotional, you know, I was like, are you serious? He goes, 2 years tops. And I was like, but I just started making money. Well, it's gonna be a nice funeral. I was like, what an ass. So it took a lot for me to finally start doing something about it, you know, because it's not like this is the first time I try to lose weight. This has been happening for a long time, but somebody tells you you're gonna die, you actually wake up. So what it took the support of my friends, my family, and, you know, especially, I gotta give credit where credit is due. Martin, you guys, helped me out so much because he's always encouraging me to go to the gym. Let's go work out, bro. Let's go do something. And more importantly than let's go work out is, you know, we're on the road together 46 weeks out of the year, so we eat together a lot, and he's always watching what I eat. And if he sees me reaching for something I shouldn't mess with, he checks me, especially breakfast. That's my favorite meal. I love breakfast. And they always put us at these nice hotels where they give us this continental breakfast with the buffet, and, you know, if I'm eating eggs and bacon and sausage, that's fine. Yes, some of it's fattening, but guess what? No sugar. If Martin sees me reaching for muffins or waffles, he makes a scene. He waits for me to get about 15 feet away, and he starts yelling in front of all the people at the restaurant. Oh yeah, he's still ghetto. I don't care if it's a Ritz-Carlton. Guess what? Machete's here. He starts yelling. He waits for me to get 15 feet away, and then he starts. Really, bro? You're gonna put that in your mouth, Fluffy? You know what that's gonna do to your body? Hey, have some self-respect. And he makes me cry at breakfast. I'm sad. I'm like, I don't want the muffin. I don't want it. I don't want the muffin. I'm not a little whore. I'm not a little whore. But see, that is a real friend who would check me and remind me, hey, bro, get mad at me all you want. I just want you to live. And I gotta respect that. That's why I love that dude, you know? And in turn, sometimes I gotta check Martin. Yeah. Believe me, you guys, it goes both ways. Sometimes I have to check him, not about his weight, but he has his demons too. You know, oh, believe that. Yes, sometimes there's limited space at the hotels where we're staying at. So sometimes we gotta double up on a room. And every now and then Martino brings some random girl to the room at 3 o'clock in the morning, wakes me up. I gotta look at him and say, really, bro? You're gonna put that in your mouth? Do you know what that's gonna do to your body? Hey, have some sense. He doesn't. He really doesn't. So. I'm in the middle of trying to deal with this whole situation with my son watching these videos and not going to work. And while I'm doing this, I get the most random phone call I've ever gotten. My publicist calls me up and she's like, Gabe, Snoop Dogg is looking for you. Excuse me? Snoop Dogg, you know, I know who Snoop Dogg is, but what do you mean he's looking for me? Well, he's looking for, is he looking for me or is he looking for me? He's a fan and he wants to interview you. Oh, cool, sounds good. What is it? I think it's some type of podcast. I'm in. Can I bring Frankie? Absolutely. Cool, so I hang up the phone. I'm excited, I wanna tell my son. I'm like, Frankie, I'm walking towards your room. I'll be at your door in 3, 2, 1. Hey, all right, you're dressed. Good, come on, let's go. Where are we going? Watch. We get in the car. And now we're off on this adventure to go do an interview with Snoop Dogg. You guys, let me tell you something. We get to the neighborhood and we're lost. The GPS says we're there, but we're lost. We're looking for a house and there's no house, just a big building. And so I'm like, this doesn't look like a podcast, really? So I pull up to the security gate. Tap the button on the wall.
Security desk, can I help you?
Hey, security desk, my name is Gabriel Iglesias, and I think I'm here to do an interview with Snoop Dogg.
Okay, one moment.
Oh, okay, this is it. Good, good. I'm so excited. Snoop Dogg, this is gonna be cool, right?
Sir?
Yes.
Yes, hi. There is no Gilbert Ignatius on file.
What?
Could there be another name?
Another name, I don't know, Fluffy maybe? And the gate starts to open. I'm like, oh my God, I'm officially in the rapper's world because my real name doesn't mean shit. So we drive in. And we're passing all of these reserved parking spaces. Reserve, 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 reserve. And we get to my space, which is basically an orange cone that has Fluffy handwritten on it. And a bunch of other names crossed off. So Frankie moves the cone, I park the car. We walk into the building. My publicist is waiting for me, right? And she's like, Gabe, you made it. Frankie, how are you? Listen, I just finished talking to Snoop. Wow. He is everything you think he is and just a little bit more. He is so sweet. I cannot believe he was charged with double murder. He told me to just walk you guys into the studio and he'll be right back. He said he had to go outside and get in the right headspace or something. Okay, cool. So she walks us into Snoop's studio. I'm thinking I'm there for a podcast. Come to find out, it's for a TV show. Snoop has a TV show where he interviews celebrities. Everyone in the room is waiting for Snoop to return. You can hear the small talk, you know. All of a sudden, everyone stands up. And I'm looking around like, what's going on? And I look at the door to see if Snoop's walking in, and I don't see him. And I could see my son. I don't realize it, but Snoop is entering the room through a different door. I don't realize it till like the last second. I'm like, what do you? So I jump up, I push in my chair. I'm so nervous, I don't know how to address him. So I'm like, I felt stupid. Snoop walks over to me and he's so cool, you guys. He's so cool. He walks over to me and he grabs my hand. He's really strong. He pulls me in and he says, yo, what it do, baby boo? How you feel? Thank you for having me. Yeah. Can I sit down? For sure. I sit down, I look over, I see my son. My son's like... The difference between Snoop's show versus any other talk show I've ever done is that usually there's a person, like a producer or a director, who comes to you and gives you information, like how the show begins, topics you're gonna cover, how you go to commercial, how you come back from commercial. I've spoken to no one. Snoop just starts talking, and at some point, they hit record. I'm waiting for action or a buzzer and something. Snoop just starts talking to me. Yo, what up, Big Fluff? Big Fluff, oh, that's, hey. Yo, you like music? Snoop, I love music. I love your music. Yeah, that's what's up. He opens up a laptop computer and then he hits play. And the next thing I know, we are listening to hardcore Mexican banda music. I mean hardcore. And you can hear gunshots in the song. And then a cow. And the whole time Snoop is like, I love it when he go moo. What? I feel like he's messing with me because I'm Mexican, right? So I called him out. I said, Snoop, do you understand what you're listening to? And he said this, and it scared me. He said, gangster recognize gangster. The reason why it scared me was because he was telling the truth. We were listening to actual Mexican cartel songs that don't play on the radio. And the fact that he knew that, the fact that his level of street knowledge in another language was that on point, I said, I gotta shut the hell up. Don't speak unless spoken to, that's the code. Next thing I know, Snoop reaches under the desk and he pulls out the biggest blunt I have ever seen. Oh, this sucker was huge. As soon as he pulled out that freaking blunt, I got excited because I wanted to grab my cell phone, okay? I wanted to grab my cell phone so that I could take a selfie of Snoop in the background being Snoop. So while I'm fumbling, trying to get my phone, Snoop starts talking to me again. Yo, Big Fluff. Yeah, what? Hit that while I hit this. The second I went like that, all of the cameras in the room, red light, red light, red light, red light, red light. My publicist is like, no! My son is like, yeah! But every now and then I go out and I wanna meet people, I wanna see cool things. And for example, comedy. I'm a huge fan of comedy, not just performing it, but I love going to shows. I go to a comedy show every now and then alone. Now, I don't know if that sounds weird to you guys, but for me to do anything nowadays by myself, it's my crew, all the people that work for me, they freak out when I go places because they're always concerned for my safety. You know, what if someone tries to kidnap you? Well, they're gonna earn it. I got into a fight with some of my team members and I said, you know what, I'm going out. I bought myself a ticket and I went to go watch Chris Rock one night in concert. Now, I says, you know what? Maybe I can make my way backstage and I don't know, if I get lucky, maybe I'll say hi to him. I've always wanted to meet him. So I go to the side of the stage and I run into security and I said, hey. He looked at me and said, Fluffy! And when he did that, I said, hey, listen, I forgot my keys. I'll be right back. And the guy's like, yeah, keep going. Get your keys, get your keys, get your keys. I'm like, oh my God, that shit worked. Just like that, I snuck backstage at a Chris Rock concert. Once I was behind the curtain, I was in my element. I knew where everything was. I knew where the food was. I knew where the dressing rooms were, where the bathrooms were. I'm walking around with a soda. People are coming up to me. You know, we didn't know you were gonna be here. I got a call last minute. looking for my keys. I says, you know what? I got this far. I'm gonna push it. I wanna meet him. I've always wanted to meet Chris Rock. It was not hard. Once I was back there, I just had to go to the dressing rooms. All I had to do was read the name on the door. I'm standing there in front of the door and I'm hyperventilating, just. The door opens up and there's this man in there, this bodyguard who's just massive. I'm a big guy, but damn, dude was huge. As soon as he opened the door, just. Welcome to Jurassic. Big! Grandote! And I'm standing there and I'm like, hi. And he's like, can I help you? Yes, my name is Gabriel. I'm a comedian. And I wanted to see if I could say hi to Chris Rock, if that's possible. You say you're a comedian? Yes. Well, then you understand Chris is going over his material right now. He really ain't trying to talk to nobody. So I'll tell you what, player, if you want to come by after the show, you're more than welcome to. But right now, it's not a good time. Chris Rock is a busy man. Can I wave? Excuse me? Can I wave? What you mean? Can I wave at Chris? I don't have to come in. Can I wave? Chris Rock is in the room. He can hear the stupid conversation that's taking place. I know this because I can hear Chris Rock in the background. What's going on? Who's at the door? Move out the way. Yo, Chris, I got this, man. I got this. Move! All right. And the guy stands to the side, and now I'm looking at Chris Rock. And he recognized me. And it freaked me out. Oh, yeah, it freaked me out. He's like, ah, shit. Look who it is. Look who it is. It's the king of the Mexicans. Chris Rock called me the king of the Mexicans. For the rest of the show, everyone referred to me as El Chapo. See, first of all, any alcohol that will make you say its name is not safe. And that's the only alcohol that will make you do that. That's the only one you hear people. Jaeger! You don't hear anyone else. You don't hear Mexicans. Tequila, way! You don't hear black people. Hennessy, playa. You don't hear Japanese. Whoa, saki saki! Jaeger is scary for a few reasons. One, I'm type 2 diabetic. I shouldn't even be drinking, but Jaeger has twice as much sugar in it. Second thing is the consistency. It's very sticky. It's like cough syrup. So if you drink too much of it, it holds on longer than anything else. And it's nasty. When you drink it, you're like, ah!
Palatos, palatos, palatos.
It's horrible. If you drink too much of it, it holds on longer than anything else. You know what I'm saying? Like if you have one too many beers, you know what happens. You get the and then you return it to the rightful owner. Jaeger makes you feel like you gotta bring it back, but you can't. All it does is make you dramatic for 45 minutes until it lets go. You've seen someone like that. Hey, you okay? I'm fine, but they can't throw up. All they're doing is 6-minute abs. People look at you the next day. Are you into fitness? No, I'm a drunk. Yeah. Jaeger is scary. Another alcohol I refuse to mess with anymore is wine. Look at the people over there. We're from Schaumburg. For those of you that don't know, Schaumburg is the kind of the Beverly Hills of the area, so I'm sure you figured that one out by now. My issue with wine is very simple. I don't like the fact that wine is socially accepted. And what I mean by that is that if you see someone with a bottle of wine, if you see a guy crossing the street with a bottle of wine, immediately he's judged, but in a positive way. Because wine is always associated with something high class, something positive, something progressive, an anniversary, a celebration, a promotion. So you try to figure it out. Hey, what do you think is going on over there? Graduation? Promotion? It's gotta be good.
Hey, good for you, buddy.
Women see a man with a bottle of wine holding a couple of glasses and immediately,
Aww. Lucky bitch.
it's still alcohol. It will still mess you up. The main reason why I don't like wine is because you cannot accurately measure wine. You can measure real liquor, it's called a shot. And you know after drinking enough times what you can handle and what you can't handle. Because people who drink a lot love to brag about their drinking abilities. They have their drinking number, right? They have their drinking number. You'll hear them, you know, 11 shots of Don Julio. Woo, yeah! They have their drinking number. Even women.
After 4 shots of Cuervo, I am so good. 4 shots is my sweet spot.
What happens if you do 5?
I'll wake up in an alley.
What happens if you do 6?
That's how I met Tyrone.
See, with wine, you cannot accurately measure how much you're drinking unless you're basing it on the bottle. And if you're basing it on the bottle, then that's a whole different issue. With wine, the glasses are always different sizes. Sometimes they're big glasses, sometimes they're small glasses, and a lot of times you need to rely on someone to pour it for you. Sometimes they know what they're doing, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they fill it up too high, which is not the proper amount. Sometimes they get it just right, which is a little bit less than half of the glass. Sometimes you get that greedy bastard from Olive Garden. You know what I'm talking about? Where you get that little sample, and then you have to hold it up in direct sunlight and do this. And then you drink it, and you're like, that's pretty good. I got a coupon for that. Here you go. And you never see wine drinkers drinking with real drinkers in dive bars. You might see them at a social gathering like this one or some corporate function, but never at a little hole in the wall. You'll never see Jaeger!
Tequila way!
And in the middle,
Mellow, I say. Oh, this is a fantastic establishment. I truly enjoy the decor here. This is amazing. This is brilliant, I tell you. Who cuts your grass? It's fantastic.
So I get a letter in the mail from my old high school, and it's like, you know, time for the reunion. My girlfriend saw the letter. She's like, ooh, your reunion. I go, yeah, my reunion. When is it? When are we going? Actually, I was going to take my friend Tony, because, you know, we went to high school together. He's my best friend since high school, so I was going to take Tony. You're going to take Tony instead of me. That's what's going to happen, huh? You're going to take Tony instead of me. Your girlfriend, you're going to take Tony. No. It's okay. It's okay. You take Tony, okay? And I hope you have a great time. Oh, thanks. I knew you'd understand, baby. I love you. Don't ask too many questions, you know what I mean? So my buddy Tony and I, we go to a high school reunion. We get there early, too early. There's nobody in the banquet hall. So we go upstairs to the bar area. We're watching a basketball game. Everything is cool until some guy recognized me. Hey, you're the comedian. What's up, dude? Dude, funny, bro. Let me buy you a shot. Actually, man, I have my reunion right now, and I don't want to show up drunk. Oh, I see how it is, bro. You're too good, huh? That's what it is, huh? Excuse me, George Lopez. Let's do the stupid shot. All right, bartender shot. So he freaking makes a double. And we freaking cling, cling, and slammed it. I'm like, oh, thank you, man, thank you. Let's do another one. Oh, hey, man, I'm okay, thank you. See how it is, Paul Rodriguez? Let's do another shot. And he kept this pattern going. He must have had like 7 comedians behind his freaking wallet, you know? One after another. I got so drunk. I was that level of drunk where you can't even walk straight. You got to look at the ground to navigate, you know? You're just kind of... I get to the reunion. There's a lady at a table, and she's got stickers on the table that say, hello, my name is. And then with a Sharpie, you write your name. I was so drunk, I couldn't even write Gabriel. I wrote Flaco. which is Spanish for skinny. So, you know, I freaking write that, stick it on, and we walk in. The party's going on, you know. I'm trying to find a table. My buddy Tony took off. I couldn't find him. I'm sitting there. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. All of a sudden, the lights come up and the class president is holding the microphone.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Wilson High School class reunion. Let's just cut to the chase, find out what everyone's been up to, and keep the party rocking.
So she pulls out a list.
Who's done this? Who's done that? Who has the most children?
Some girl in the back.
7.
Everybody's like, puta. Now you remember. Okay. All right? She keeps going down the list.
Who's done this? Who's done that? Who's been on television?
Everybody at my table who wasn't talking to me before, you know, they weren't talking to me before. Now they're like, right here, right here, right here. I'm like, no, I'm drunk, no, shh. Sure enough, here comes the girl.
Oh, we have a celebrity over here. Come on, say something. Get up here, Flaco. Come on, Flaco, get up here.
No, I'm okay.
Oh, come on, get up here. Are you too good or what?
So I got mad and I jumped up. I'm not too good. Everybody, my name is Gabriel Iglesias. I don't want to say a whole lot right now because I've been drinking and I don't want to say nothing stupid. It's really nice to be here with everybody. I see 2 girls here tonight. 2. Who, when I was in the 12th grade, I asked out to the prom. And they said no. But you know what? It's okay. Let me go. It's okay. You know what? It's okay because like she said, I've been on TV. And you 2 girls who said no, you got fat. One of them yells out,
You're fat too.
I know I'm fat, but I was fat in high school. I kept my figure, why couldn't you? If I'm at a bar and I'm sitting at the bar, I'm in a drinking environment. If someone sends me a shot, I don't say no. I say thank you. I accept the shot and I tell the bartender who sent it so that I can lock eyes with that person and go, thank you. And they can see me drink the shot so they know it didn't go to waste. If someone sends me a shot, I take that as a compliment. I think it's an awesome thing if someone sends you a drink. And so when I send someone a drink, I mean good intentions with that drink. And if that person is like at the bar and they're like, ugh, no, I take offense to that. I'm like, ugh, dick. I don't want to make someone feel that way. So I know if I'm in a drinking environment, I don't say no. I have already established the fact that this is a drinking environment. I've already done 2 rounds. And so I see what's going on and I'm looking for help because that's a lot. So I look for security and I'm like, security! And security sees, and security was so clueless that night. They're like, want me to help you drink? No, stupid! Martin is gone somewhere, security's clueless, so I'm stuck on my own. So I walk over, and I start drinking. I grabbed the first shot, and I held it up, and I said, to Orlando. Boom. Second one, to Orlando. Boom. Third one, to Orlando. Boom. After about 8 shots, I was like, to Nanando. Boom. After about 12 shots, I was like, to Armando. Boom. I did 17 shots of Jaeger. At this point, people are no longer watching my show for the sake of stand-up comedy. They're watching a train wreck, and they don't want to leave because they want to see what's going to happen. I am now reaching for number 18. And as I'm reaching for it, someone in the back of the room yells out, take it off! And I was like, you take it off! And then her boyfriend stands up. Hey, she'll take off whatever you take off. And all of a sudden, we had a party. That girl came up on stage and she was beautiful, according to Jaeger. She's standing on the stage next to me, but at this point, I'm so gone, I can barely finish a sentence. So then the crowd starts chanting, "Take it off, take it off." I'm like, here we go. So I kick off a shoe. She kicks off a sandal. I kick off the other shoe. She kicks off the other sandal. And we started going toe to toe. Eventually, I end up in my boxers and nothing else. And she's in her sports bra and her underwear. And it's her turn. And we all know it's her turn. And this is what I feel like I might get in trouble for because I was instigating. I was like, we're gonna see something. We're gonna see something. I don't know what we're gonna see, but we're gonna see something. It's either gonna be Momo or Meow Meow. It's gonna be something. As soon as she heard Meow Meow, she ran off the stage. And now I'm standing there in my boxers. No one there to help me. Finally, my friend shows up. Martin comes out the door, runs down the stairs, takes the microphone away from me. He goes, "Get your ass upstairs." I'm not paying attention. I'm just looking at the ground. You know, I am gone. I'm this guy. I look like the end of a Mortal Kombat game. So I'm not looking at Martin, so he pops me in the chest. He goes, "Hey, huh?" And I see Martin's face, and his whole face is covered with salt. Because he's a whore. Martin says, "Get your ass upstairs." "Okay, Martin." So I start trying to walk up the stairs, but I can't because I'm too drunk. So I got to do that little baby bear crawl. You know, that football thing where you get on all fours. And so I crawled all the way up the stairs like a little baby bear. And when I got to the top, everyone cheered. "He made it!" And so I'm still, "Woo!" And Martin, he's just trying to get me to go away. He's like, "Ladies and gentlemen, one more time for Mr. Gabriel Iglesias. This man gave you everything he had. He almost got naked for you." And then I heard, "Almost." And a little devil appeared on my shoulder. And his name was Jaeger. And from the top of the stairs, freaking 3, 2, 1. "I tell you what." And I threw my underwear at Martin. Half the crowd saw my side naked profile. The other half saw Pikachu. If I'm at a bar and I'm sitting at the bar, I'm in a drinking environment. If someone sends me a shot, I don't say no. I say thank you. I accept the shot and I tell the bartender who sent it so that I can lock eyes with that person and go, "Thank you." And they can see me drink the shot so they know it didn't go to waste. If someone sends me a shot, I take that as a compliment. I think it's an awesome thing if someone sends you a drink. And so when I send someone a drink, I mean good intentions with that drink. And if that person is like at the bar and they're like, "Ugh, no," I take offense to that. I'm like, "Ugh, dick." I don't want to make someone feel that way, so I know if I'm in a drinking environment, I don't say no. I have already established the fact that this is a drinking environment. I've already done 2 rounds. And so I see what's going on, and I'm looking for help, because that's a lot. So I look for security, and I'm like, "Security!" And security sees, and security was so clueless that night. They're like, "Want me to help you drink?" "No, stupid!" Martin is gone somewhere, security's clueless, so I'm stuck on my own. So I walk over and I start drinking. I grabbed the first shot and I held it up and I said, "To Orlando." Boom. Second one, "To Orlando." Boom. Third one, "To Orlando." Boom. After about 8 shots, I was like, "To Nanando." Boom. After about 12 shots, I was like, "To Armando." Boom. I did 17 shots of Jaeger. At this point, people are no longer watching my show for the sake of stand-up comedy. they're watching a train wreck and they don't want to leave because they want to see what's going to happen. I am now reaching for number 18. And as I'm reaching for it, someone in the back of the room yells out, "Take it off!" And I was like, "You take it off!" And then her boyfriend stands up. "Hey, she'll take off whatever you take off." And all of a sudden, we had a party. That girl came up on stage and she was beautiful, according to Jaeger. She's standing on the stage next to me, but at this point, I'm so gone, I can barely finish a sentence. So then the crowd starts chanting, "Take it off! Take it off!" I'm like, here we go. So I kick off a shoe. She kicks off a sandal. I kick off the other shoe. She kicks off the other sandal. And we started going toe to toe. Eventually, I end up in my boxers and nothing else. And she's in her sports bra and her underwear. And it's her turn. And we all know it's her turn. And this is what I feel like I might get in trouble for because I was instigating. I was like, we're gonna see something. We're gonna see something. I don't know what we're gonna see, but we're gonna see something. It's either gonna be Momo or Meow Meow. It's gonna be something. As soon as she heard Meow Meow, she ran off the stage. And now I'm standing there in my boxers. No one there to help me. Finally, my friend shows up. Martin comes out the door, runs down the stairs, takes the microphone away from me. He goes, "Get your ass upstairs." I'm not paying attention. I'm just looking at the ground. You know, I am gone. I'm this guy. I look like the end of a Mortal Kombat game. So I'm not looking at Martin, so he pops me in the chest. He goes, "Hey, huh?" And I see Martin's face, and his whole face is covered with salt. Because he's a whore. Martin says, "Get your ass upstairs." "Okay, Martin." So I start trying to walk up the stairs, but I can't because I'm too drunk. So I got to do that little baby bear crawl. You know, that football thing where you get on all fours. And so I crawled all the way up the stairs like a little baby bear. And when I got to the top, everyone cheered. "He made it!" And so I'm still, "Woo!" And Martin, he's just trying to get me to go away. He's like, "Ladies and gentlemen, one more time for Mr. Gabriel Iglesias. This man gave you everything he had. He almost got naked for you." And then I heard, "Almost." And a little devil appeared on my shoulder. And his name was Jaeger. And from the top of the stairs, freaking 3, 2, 1. "I tell you what." And I threw my underwear at Martin. Half the crowd saw my side naked profile. The other half saw Pikachu. So here's the story. So I had done shows before, you know, in Texas, and I had never done a show in San Antonio. So the original plan was we wanted to record a special in San Antonio for the new Netflix show, you know, for the series. So we couldn't really travel too much. And remember, they kept telling us, stay in your bubble, stay in your COVID bubble. Don't forget to stay in your bubble. So in order to be as proactive and just careful, we all went out there together as a team, okay? And then we all basically said, we're gonna do a residency in San Antonio for 30 days. 30 shows in 30 days. And on the last day, we'll record a new special. This way it gives me a chance to start performing again because it'd been over a year since I touched the stage. And so we get there and they gave me the option. Do you wanna stay in a house or do you wanna stay in a hotel? And I said, well, I've never lived in Texas before, so let's see what a house feels like. So they got us like this fancy Airbnb, and basically, you know, it was Martin, Alfred, my friend Rick, myself. It was like 4 of us. It was like the Mexican version of the real world, okay? So we're all in this big house together. Everyone gets their own room. And so, of course, I get the big room because it's me. And, you know, look at some, no, yes. So I open up the door, I turn on the light, click. And I'm like, this is a beautiful room. Wow, look how big it is. And then I notice there's a hole in the wall. And I said, that's weird. So I get really close to the wall. And when I got close, I realized it's not a hole, it's a big ass roach. And let me tell you, I am not exaggerating when I tell you that cuca was this big. That roach was this big. Now, I have used this unit of measure before to exaggerate. And let me tell you, I'm not exaggerating when I tell you that freaking cucaracha was this big. And I don't want you guys thinking, oh, what, you think you're too good for roaches? No. I grew up with roaches my whole life. My mom and I, we lived in apartment buildings, projects. We always had roaches, but they were different. First of all, they were this big. And California roaches are very different, okay? For example, when you turn on the light, they scatter. In Texas, he chilled. In California, they respond to sound and movement. Ah! Scatter. I tried my California technique on this Tejano roach. I said, ah! And the roach was like, what? Oh my God, I don't think he's in my room. I think I'm in his. And at that moment, my tour manager walks in the room and she's like, is everything okay with the accommodations? I said, no, the room is beautiful, but look at the wall. Aw, there's a hole in the wall. I said, get closer. She gets up to the wall and she's like, oh, it's a big ass roach. I said, you're okay with that? She said, he's not in my room. She can see that I'm visibly bothered by this roach. So she's like, would you like me to take care of your little friend for you? And it is a little emasculating because I'm a big guy and she's like 5'2". So she's like, move, fool. She takes off her shoes, she grabs it, she gets up on a chair, and she brings it back, and she's like, you know, soy la 69. Bam! Nail that roach. Threw down her shoe, put it on. I look at the wall, and it kept moving. And I said, you have angered our friend. And she was like defensive. Fool, round two. So she grabs her shoe, gets back up on the stool, and she brings it back. And just as she's about to nail this roach for the second time, that shit started flying. Outside of home is Australia. And I'll tell you why. Australia, much like us in America, has its list of priorities. You know what's not on their list? Political correctness. They do not care about your feelings. It's like a country full of Daves. Believe it or not, it's very refreshing to be around such a large group of people who speak their minds so freely. And if you know that before you go there, you're gonna have an amazing time. But if you don't know that and you show up, it is a culture shock and a half, because I showed up and I didn't know. Everybody says you gotta see the beaches, and I went to the beach. I had people coming up to me. Hey, somebody help me get him back in the water. Yeah, look at right there, big fella. Look at you right there. Oh, look, he's moving. Oh, he's crying. I bet it tastes like gravy. It's not bullying if everyone does it. Yeah, that being said, I'm in Australia, Sydney, Australia, at the Opera House. For me, it was one of the most iconic places I've ever got to perform in. It was bucket list, definitely. After the show, I wanted to go hang out with some Aussies and see what that was like. I'm hanging out at a pub. First things first, Australian people do not drink Foster's beer. That's an American thing. They don't drink that over there. I tried ordering one to fit in, didn't go over well. Bartender looked at me. Hey, you like the taste of piss, do ya? Okay, don't order that again. So I'm hanging out with these two Aussies, and we're drinking a rum called Bundaberg. At first glance, it looks like a Coca-Cola bottle because there's a polar bear on the front. And then you drink it, and you're like, that's not Coke. As we're talking, a third Australian joined the conversation. And he sounded a little bit different from the other two. He had more of a raspy voice. More like, all right, yeah, mate, yeah, all right. He sounded like a drunk pirate underwater. These two guys didn't like him, so they called him a name and they left. And now it's just me and drunk pirate. We're talking about life. Life in America, life in Australia, talking about our differences. He tells me that he's a professional knife maker. He's showing me how it's done. He's showing me pictures. We wind up polishing off 3 bottles of this rum. And drunk wasn't even the right word to describe our level. My tour manager, Ryan, he comes up to me and he says, Gabe, time to go. And I look at Ryan and I'm like, but Ryan, I just made a friend and he makes knives and they're pretty. My tour manager always knows how to talk to me no matter what condition I'm in. If I'm drunk, he knows better than to talk to me like I'm an adult. He talks to me like I'm 2. He looks at me and he says, hey, buddy, you hungry? Well, listen, if we don't leave right now, they're gonna close McDonald's and you're gonna have to eat at the airport. I gotta go. Oh, Mom, you gotta go, no worries. And he goes to shake my hand. And when he shook my hand, he put his personal pocket knife that he made in my hand as a gift. That's for you, Mike. Thanks for being nice. Thank you. Thank you. I'm gonna cut cheeseburgers with this. Martin and I just got back from India. Yeah. So let me tell you, I started posting on Facebook and Twitter that we were gonna go out there to do these shows. And then people started sending me messages, questioning what I was gonna do. First of all, are they gonna understand you in India? Will they understand English okay? Will they be able to follow along with your stories? Once we got there, I come to find out that more people speak English in India than in all of the US and Canada put together. Might as well throw Mexico in there for extra credit. Because there's that many people, and yes, they have the internet. They got the internet, they got Bollywood, they got Hollywood. They understand American culture so much more than we understand theirs. Second thing, people tried to warn me about going over there.
Gabriel, be careful. India is a third world country. Don't drink the water in India. It contains parasites that'll make you really sick. Don't eat the food from the street people, especially the street meat. It contains a parasite that'll make you really sick. And most importantly, there's a lot of crime over there. Don't stay out late. When the sun goes down, you go down.
I'm like, is it that bad? Parasites. So I'm like, let me get this straight. There's a lot of crime. Don't stay out late. Don't eat any of the food from the street vendors. And don't drink the water. Why does that sound familiar? That's Mexico! When Martin and I got over there, we found out that Indian people and Mexican people have so much in common, you guys. I'm telling you, it's insane how similar we are, especially the food. The food is so similar. For example, Mexicans love tortillas. Indian people love naan bread, which is a fluffier form of a tortilla. Mexicans love chicken. Indians love chicken. Mexicans love hot and spicy. Indians invented hot and spicy. Most popular drink in Mexico is Fanta. Most popular drink in India is Fanta. Indian people worship cows. Mexicans love barbecues. A lot of similarities. Most of the people that I met over there were very hardworking and humble. And I gotta tell you, every time I talked to someone, I was always greeted the same way. They'd look at me, they'd put their hands together, they'd do a little bow, and they say, Namaste, which is an endearing hello. It's really nice and sweet. And then I noticed that Indian people, when you're talking to them, do this thing with their head, where it will begin to move side to side as they're speaking. Now, at first when you notice it, you think, oh,
He slept wrong. He just got a kink in his neck. Get a Tempur-Pedic!
now when they start speaking, their head starts moving. And I noticed this, the guy is checking us into the hotel, and he's really cool. He's like, listen, if you have any problems at all, okay, you call the front desk, you press 0, we will send somebody to your room to help you. Whatever you need, we got it for you right here, okay? It's very good. Now, one thing I notice is the more they talk and the more excited Indian people get, the more the head starts to move around. Somebody at the hotel yelled out to the clerk, that's Fluffy. And the guy was like, oh my God, I don't believe it. I thought it was you. I thought it was you. Oh my God, I cannot believe it. This is so crazy. Oh my God, Fluffy, Fluffy, Fluffy. Even crazier than that is that the mouth is actually connected to the neck. When the mouth stops moving, the head stops wherever the mouth left off. And when you see Indian people talking to each other, you can see it. Okay, let me tell you something. Okay, okay, hold on. Wait, hold on, wait, okay. Like if you're Indian and you stutter, you are so screwed. Somebody stop him! I'm not gonna lie, you guys. When I first saw this happen, I thought it was hysterical. I thought it was funny. But then I started thinking about it. Head movement is just a form of expression. No matter where you live in this world, people express themselves in their own unique way, whether through facial expressions, hand gestures, body movement, extra words. Everywhere you go, things are different, and that's just how they express themselves in India. Now, back to the whole Indians-Mexican thing. That is something else that we share in common with Indian people. Head movement. Now, some of you in the building tonight are like, stupid, we don't have head movement. Yes, we do. It's a little different. See, with Indian people, the head movement is side to side. Mexicans, our head movement is front to back. The difference between that is that with Mexicans, we have to be very, very upset in order for you to see the head movement. Otherwise, you can't tell. With Indians, it's all the time. Oh, today is such a nice day. It is such a beautiful day today. I'm so happy. It's very nice, very good. Oh my God, I can't believe it's so nice. It's such a pretty. Mexicans, when we're mad, that's when it comes out. For non-Latinos, hey, trust me, you cut off a Mexican in traffic, see what happens. ¡Sácate, pendejo! ¡Lárgate, cabrón! ¡Quítate, desgraciado! That's funny. I don't know why the black people are laughing. You guys take it all. Oh, no, you didn't. Oh, hell no. I know he ain't talking about me. I hit a bell. I hit a bell. I made myself dizzy doing it. So let me tell you guys, if you ever get the opportunity to travel to India, I encourage you to check it out. You are gonna see some beautiful things. You are gonna see some amazing things. You are gonna see some sad, depressing things and some real horrible things. Overall, it's a well-balanced trip. But when you get back home here to the United States, you will have a whole different appreciation for your life. Believe that. I guarantee this, you guys. There's a lot of people in India, and with a lot of people comes a lot of traffic. First things first, American traffic and Indian traffic, very different. Here, whatever happens on the freeway will stop the whole freeway. In India, there's 10 times the traffic, but it moves. See, the problem is Americans, we're fascinated by accidents. We're fascinated by the idea of seeing potential death. That's why we slow down on the freeways. We say we don't want to see it, but what happens in traffic? You know, what's going on over there? There doesn't even have to be a collision. You could be on the 101 freeway and a car has a tire blowout and it spins. Doesn't hit anything. It's now facing oncoming traffic. You know what happens to the rest of the freeway? Even on the other freeway where there's no accident. And again, what's going on? What's going on? I'm sorry. Hey, somebody might be dead. Sorry. In India, if there's an accident in the middle of the street, you know what they do? They drive right around it. They don't stop. And it's not that they're not sensitive to the situation. They are. It's just that there's so much chaos that happens on a regular basis. They just need to get to work. They do see what's happening. And believe me, they're heartfelt. You know, they'll drive around. I am so sorry for you. Nothing stops the flow of traffic in India. They need to get from point A to point B. And so they go. If there's an accident, they drive around. If there's something blocking the street, they get on the sidewalk to go around. It's amazing the way they drive. And here's something else. No one uses turn signals over there. No one uses turn signals. They use a horn. Now, if you go to India tomorrow, from the time you get there to the time you leave, you're constantly going to hear a horn. It's an actual language when people are driving. I'll show you. You're driving? Car on your right. Car on your left. Light up ahead. They talk to each other while they're driving, and they barely miss each other every single time. Also, you'll be on the 101 freeway here, and there'll be 6 lanes. In India, you'll see 6 lanes, but guess what? You'll see 12 cars across. Yes, they have lines, but they're basically there to let you know more or less the direction you might want to go in. They're this close to each other. And even at the light, they communicate. You see everything. Cars, trucks, vans, motorcycles, pedestrians, cows, children, all waiting for the light. And they talk at the light with the horn. Very good, you can go, you can go. Welcome, you're welcome, go. Nothing stops the flow of traffic over there. Indian people drive. Think of ants. You know how ants travel in a straight line? And if there's something in the way like a rock, ants will split up, go around the rock and reunite, or climb over the rock. Worst case scenario, they dig a hole and go under the rock. That's the mentality of driving in India. A man can get shot in the middle of the street. People just look at each other. Somebody pick him up. And they'll drag his ass onto the sidewalk. And if there's an accident and they need to get around, guess what's gonna happen to that guy on the sidewalk? Nothing stops the flow of traffic in India except a cow. Now, I know we've always heard the stories and the jokes about, oh, Indian people don't eat hamburgers. I asked the question and I found out. It's believed that cows are people who have died and they've been reincarnated and their new life is now the cow, which is why they don't eat them and why they give them all the love and respect in the world over there. I saw this firsthand. There's a cow crossing the street while we're driving. And the cows know, they're cocky. They know that they can cross. Friggin', all the cows, and the cows out there all cocky. Gling, 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 gling. No one honks at the cows. No one yells at the cows. No one touches the cows. They wait for the cows to finish crossing. The cow that we had laid down. The driver just shut off the car. Started tweeting. There is a cow in the middle of the street. Hashtag Momo. I asked the driver, what's going on? Sir, there is a cow. I see that there's a cow. Are you gonna honk at it, go around? What's gonna happen? We cannot honk at the cow. We must wait for the cow to move. You're kidding. I am not kidding. We must wait for the cow. We drove past a dead body 15 minutes ago. That is probably him. Like seriously, the driving situation over there is so intense, you guys. One morning while we're there, I needed to get to the airport fast because I overslept. And so I get in the cab and I hand the driver a $50 bill. And I go, sir, I am running very late. I need to get to the airport as soon as possible. Whatever side street you have to take or back road, I'm all for it. Whatever you have to do, let's do it. And I hand him the money and he goes, very good, let's go. And we take off. The guy is hitting anywhere from 50 to 70 miles an hour on the street. We are making incredible time. I notice that we're heading in the direction of a red light. You ever been in a car with someone and you're paying attention to what's going on and you notice that you're about to hit a red light and you know how you start to mentally and physically prepare yourself for the deceleration of the car, and you start anticipating the pressure from the brake, and if you don't get the sensation of slowing down by a certain point, all alarms go off in your head and you sock the driver in the chest. Hey! Not only did I not get the sensation of slowing down, I got the opposite. He gunned it towards the light. And it caught me off guard. I couldn't even scream. I was like, and then I got air. Hey, pull over, pull over. He didn't even know what he did. He looks at me, he goes, what is wrong? What do you mean, what is wrong? Dude, didn't you see the red light? As calm as can be. Didn't you see there was no one there? You told me, whatever you have to do, okay? Whatever you have to do, you do. Do you want to yell or do you want to make plain? He made a good point. I sounded like a third grader. I want to make plain. Like seriously, that's a video game I want to see. I want to see Grand Theft Auto India. It was so crazy, you guys. And this is just us being there. I haven't even gotten to the part of us performing. We were in Mumbai, Bangalore, and Delhi. Okay, these three places is where we went to perform. Mumbai and Bangalore, the shows went over very, very well. Okay, there were about 1,500 to 2,000 people, which is amazing for a few going over there. I was like excited, yes. And then we get to Delhi. And when we got to Delhi, you guys, it got a little crazy. Martin walks out on stage and the crowd recognized him. And they started chanting, Martin! Anytime I hear that, I'm like, they know him, it's gonna be a good show. So Martin starts cracking jokes. The crowd starts laughing. He's cracking more jokes. The crowd keeps laughing. All of a sudden, I hear this. Martin doesn't say a word to them. He gets off stage, next comedian comes out, and then Martin comes over to me and he says, bro, I don't know what's going on, man. I don't know what's going on out there. There's these three guys in the front row. They're laughing like Klingons from Star Trek. I'm not gonna address them. I'm gonna save them for you. I was like, oh, thank you. So then Martin goes back out there on stage. And he introduces me, ladies and gentlemen, Gabriel Iglesias. And then I run out on stage and the crowd started chanting, Fluffy, Fluffy. And I was like, whoa, what's up, Delhi? And I start cracking jokes, start getting laughs, start cracking more jokes, start getting more laughs. And then it happened. Now see me, I can't avoid things. Especially when it's front row center. So I addressed it. I came right out and I said, well, hello. I said, what do we have here? I said, so where are you guys from? And the guy in the middle looks at me and he goes, we are from Germany. I said, cool, we have Germans in the house. And the whole crowd got really weird. You could hear them. They freaked out because they thought I was gonna start making fun of the German people. And one guy even stood up. Don't do it! Don't do it! Don't do it! I go, relax, bro, have a seat. Don't do it! I'm not gonna make fun of the German people. That's the last thing I wanna do is offend them. I don't wanna end up outside in an alley somewhere freaking in 2 hours. And this is the last time we are going to tell you, do not make fun of German people. As I'm doing this joke about a German kicking me on the floor with the accent, here's where it gets crazy. I get hit in the side of the head by a bat. Listen to what I just told you, Bay Area. I get hit in the side of the head by a bat. Not Major League Baseball. I'm talking about, I'm gonna suck your blood. In India, there are millions and millions and millions of fruit bats. And one of them, actually 6 of them, made it inside of the building. And they're flying around and they're hanging out in the rafters. And one of them decides to fly down. And basically, when I was doing the kicks, I stepped into the line of flight of the bat. And he caught me right here. And I'm like, what the hell? And I look up and you see it and you can hear it. The Indian people saw that and they freaked out. They were yelling, they did it. They did it. We told you, don't do it. We told you, don't do it. They are evil. They are evil. I'm like, dude, I don't care how evil you think the Germans are. They don't have control over bats. It wasn't like the guy got offended and said, oh, really? Uns release the bat. So now the crowd is weird. These guys are laughing. And there's freaking bats flying around the theater. First 2 minutes of my show. I gotta do an hour. And now I've already lost the crowd. They're freaking out. These guys are laughing weird. I'm nervous. It's my first time there. I don't know how to get out of this. So I literally walked over to the other side of the stage and I started just performing for this side of the room, trying to redirect the focus right here. And I'm so nervous, I'm stuttering. I don't even have a segue. I'm like, you know, it's crazy in America. Everybody in America likes drinking, you know, it's real crazy. Like for example, Mexicans, most Mexicans, we like drinking tequila. Most black people like Hennessy. Most white people like Jaeger. Here in India, you guys like Fanta. And when I said Fanta, the crowd went crazy because it was such a local reference. They freaked out. They were like screaming, oh my God, he knows, he knows. They started singing, Fanta, Fanta, don't you want Fanta, Fanta, don't you want Fanta, Fanta. The roar was so big, it allowed me to restart my show. So I started cracking new jokes and more jokes and these jokes and those jokes. 5 minutes go by. 5 minutes go by. All of a sudden, the Germans got offended at the fact that I left them out of my drinking joke. The one in the middle stands up and he approaches the stage. Now this stage has got to be about 5 feet tall. The guy's head was about this high. He was like 6'4". He looks at me and he starts pointing and he's yelling, hey, fat man! Fat man! What about us, huh? What about the Germans? What do we drink? I was like, dude, that was like 5 minutes ago. We were giving you a chance. What do we drink? I'm like, first of all, sir, I apologize. I'm really nervous right now. I had no idea there was gonna be Germans here tonight. Yeah, felt like Poland. I don't care if you laugh or not. That's a smart-ass joke. That's a smart-ass joke. It's not my fault some of you pendejos failed history. You better Google that and find out why it's so damn funny. So, all the older white people are, God damn it, yeah. So anyway, so I'm standing there and I go, listen, sir, you need to have a seat, okay? The people are getting nervous. You need to have a seat so I can finish the show. And the guy, he refuses. I will not sit down, fat man, until you tell us what we drink. I go, listen, I don't know what you guys drink. And the Indians are being so cute. They're trying to help me. They're yelling, hey, they like Fanta too. And the guy was like, we do not like Fanta. I'm like, dude. I go, sir, please have a seat. I will not have a seat until you tell us what we drink. Tell us, fat man. I go, listen, sir, you need to sit down and you need to stop calling me fat man. Now it's starting to bother me. This is like the 6th time he does it. And I didn't just lose 100 pounds to now get called fat man. So I go, sir, if you don't have a seat, we're going to have a problem, especially if you call me fat man again. And he freaking did it. What are you going to do, fat man? What do we drink? Even Martin, who's behind the curtain, knew. He knows when I'm at that point where I've crossed over. I can hear him in the back. Don't do it. Too late, Fluffy's pissed. So I said, you want to know what you drink? Tell me. Don't ask me where this came from. I got right in his face and I said, blood of Jews. Now see, automatically you guys gave me a whole different reaction. In Delhi, that was probably the most shocking thing ever said on that stage. So shocking that 2,000 people at the exact same time got so quiet, you guys, so quiet. You could hear everyone's ass just. And I'm still standing there, my hands out. Have you ever said something that was so bad? And I mean, you knew it was bad as it was coming out of your mouth, and you're trying to stop it, but it's too late, it's already out, and you're like, no. And it's too late. Blood of Jews is all over his face, right? I'm standing there, my hands out, I'm looking at him, he's looking at me, and I'm like, ah! He says, that's a good one, yeah, that's a good one. Oh my God, thank you, thank you. It doesn't end there. I'm telling you guys, this is so crazy. So next morning, Martin and I are flying back home to Los Angeles from Delhi. We're taking an airline called British Airways. We go from Delhi to London, England, and we have a connecting flight over there. Once we get to England, they canceled our connect for whatever reason. And so we got rebooked on another airline called Lufthansa. It's a German airline. Now, this is why I believe in karma. Seriously, Martin's like, really? Blood of Jews? I'm like, I know. I felt like they phoned ahead. Ons, take care of Fluffy. So I put down my credit card. I made sure that Martin and I got upgraded to at least their business class because it's like a long flight. And so we're in there, we're on the plane, and the plane takes off. About 20 minutes into the flight, we're just sitting there, we're laughing. And the flight attendant, she starts coming down the aisle with the little cart. Okay, she's coming down the aisle and she sees me and she goes,
Hello, sir. Do you have a preferred drink of choice today?
Martin looks at me, taps me in the chest, and he goes, hey, tell her. Tell her, bro. Come on, ask for it. If anybody has it. Dude, shut up. And then she looks at Martin.
Sir, do you have a preferred drink of choice?
And Martin's like, yeah, you guys got blood of... She's like, Bloody Mary? Yes, yes, Bloody Mary. Freaking Machete's gonna get me banned from flying. So we make it back home. I'm trying to tell the story to my girlfriend and my son. And my girl, she's barely laughing. She's like, like she's jaded. She doesn't laugh at my jokes anymore. My son Frankie, on the other hand, he is dying. Ah! And I'm like, really? He's 16 years old. I go, really, Frankie? You thought that was funny? He goes, yeah, it's funny. I go, what was so funny about my story? He goes, those people you're talking about. I go, who, the Indians? He goes, no, the other ones. I go, the Germans. He goes, yeah, it's funny. I go, what's so funny about the Germans? The way that they speak. I go, what's so funny about the way that they speak? He goes, they sound like the three little pigs from the movie Shrek. I had to go on YouTube and freaking find it, and sure enough, all three little pigs. Und ja, hello Shrek. Ah. I was just waiting for one of them to go, fat man. I'm not trying to preach to nobody. This is what you got to do with your life. Hell no, shoot. You like burgers? Kill it. Dale gas. I'm just saying that's what I'm going through. And then people think,
Oh, he's trying to lose weight because he's doing movies. He wants to look better. He wants to be accepted. He wants to be accepted.
no. Don't get it twisted, you guys. Don't even think that. At my highest weight of 445 pounds, the level of acceptance I had was amazing, okay? To put it to you like this, at 445 pounds, there was women throwing themselves at me. At 445 pounds, there was men. Oh, in Bay Area, let me tell you something about gay men. I know you're in here, I saw the line. I'm gonna tell you something about gay men. Gay men are very creative, they're very persistent, and they're very opportunistic when they want to achieve
The mission.
they're just as calculated as straight men are. I'll give you an example. I'll tell you a story, right? So, one night, Martin and I are at a bar, and we're having drinks. And that should come as no surprise. Oh, really? They were drinking? Yeah, we killed it. So, as we're drinking, Martin is paying attention, and he's listening in to a conversation that's happening about 15 feet away between these two girls. They're going back and forth, and one of them was like, I don't believe we finished the whole bottle.
How the hell are we supposed to get home?
Martin stands up, looks at me, and says, bro, I'll be back. And then it began, the hunt. You know, freaking. Gay men are the exact same way. They listen, they focus, they pay attention. They wait for one of the cows to get away from the rest of the herd so they can corner it and strike. 4 hours later, Martin and I are at the bar, and I'm 16 shots of tequila in. Oh yeah, and I feel fantastic. And I tell Martin, bro, I don't remember the last time I had this many shots of tequila. And Martin goes, bro, you're crazy, Fluffy. You're crazy. Wait right here. I gotta pee. And so he leaves to the restroom, and I'm leaning against the bar. The bar is the only thing keeping me standing. And from across the room, this guy stands up, looks at his friends, and says, I'll be back. And then it began, the hunt. Dun, 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 dun. And he gets in my face and he tells me, I just have to say, I am such a huge fan of yours. Oh my God! Anytime someone says they're a huge fan of mine, it automatically makes me smile. Even more so if I've been drinking. Oh yeah, if I'm drinking, I'm like, thank you. Thank you. Bro, I was so loaded, I bowed. Thank you. The guy puts his hand on my shoulder and he says, I just have to say, you have gotten me through some difficult time. And he stops talking and he squeezes and he goes, oh my God. Do you work out? I was so drunk, I said, a little. You're the first person to notice. And he's like, oh, you could totally tell. And he squeezed again. And I said, I'm sorry, am I overstepping? No, bro, you don't understand. I'm stressed out. That felt pretty good. Want me to rub both your shoulders and your back and scratch it? Because I will. Oh, whoa. Hey, go for it. He grabs me by the shoulders, you guys. He grabs me by the shoulders and he turns me around. Now I'm facing the bartender, and the bartender is trying to warn me. The bartender's like, hello?